Welcome to Poker Vlog number 28. Today's a special day because 3 or 4 times a year they give away $1,000 every hour, and they do it with the raffles. So people that play often have way more chances to win than everybody else. So we usually get this every week when they do the normal one. So we have very high chances, and there's 10 of them they're doing from 3 to midnight. So hopefully we could run good in promotions and get that $1,000. And good thing of this day too, it's super busy, it gets packed. So we're gonna have 2-5 going on, and yeah, let's just head right in. We're right on time, so hopefully we don't miss the first one, and let's play. The first winner of the promotion is called Joey, but sadly it is not us. But no worries, 9 more to go. We hear the great news that right when we walk in, the opening at 2-5. So that's the best possible situation since we get to pick our seat. So we grab our favorite seat, that is number 7, buying for $1,000, and let's jump right into the first hand. Straddle is going on this next one, so it's 2-5-10. We're looking at ace-10 off and a cutoff. There's 3 limpers, so I make it $50 and only under and 2 calls, so heads up to a flop. Flop is pretty good. Deuce, 4, ace, so top pair, 10 kicker, and we have the ace of diamonds. So when he checks, we see bet for $40 and he calls. The turn is very interesting. It's a 10 of diamonds. So now we have 2 pair and a nut flush draw, but it does bring in the flush. And he does lead out. He makes it $75. And yeah, not loving it. I mean, I'm happy since I have the nut flush draw and 2 pair, of course. So we got a bunch of outs, even if he has a flush to a better one or full house. But I feel like I may be behind here since people tend to lead out a lot when they hit the flush. Since when they're out of position, when they check, it's going to be checked back a lot. So, of course, not folding, but not loving it either. So hopefully it's a diamond or we get a full house on the river, so we call. That is not the case though, since the river is a 9. But I feel a little better when he bets $125. And this size did feel very small if he had a flush. I definitely feel like he'll bet a lot bigger on the river if he had that, trying to get more value if I have top pair, 2 pairs, or a set. So I thought about that for a while. Maybe if I didn't have 2 pair, I'd consider folding, since I did think he was going for value. This player, he is a very strange player, a way of saying it. He does a lot of different strategies that you usually won't see. So that size, if you would have made a really big one on the river, I do think I'd consider folding since it's usually flushes. But this small size, it felt like maybe he's going for value with worse. And of course, this player, he may show up with some weird bluffs himself. So get an amazing price, 2 pair, and we're blocking the nut flush draw. I do call, and he flips over ace queen. So we were behind on the flop. Thankfully, we turned 2 pair, and definitely an interesting line on him. As I said, he has a weird way of playing that he decided to lead out with his top pair when the flush comes in. So yeah, very happy with this outcome. We take it down and let's sweat it together since it is time for the second promotion of the day. If we get our name called, we're going to win $1,000.
Our next possible $1,000 winner. Oh, I think we have a winner. Giuseppe L.
Let's go. Nice.
Joey L, you are the winner.
Let's go. $1,000 coming our way. It's really nice to skin it at the beginning so I don't have to sweat. If I want to leave, I can do so, because if not, I definitely stay the whole 9 hours, because yeah, I'm not going to leave and didn't find out that I would have got called. So we are now free. We could just chill and play poker like it was any other day. Let's jump into the next hand. The straddle is going on for this one as well. We're going to pocket jacks in the button. There's 2 limpers, so I make it $50 and only under than 1 call. So heads up to a flop. Flop is beautiful. 6 queen jack flopping middle set. That in these situations is even better than top set, because they can have a lot more top pair and they're never limp calling with queen. So it's basically like having the nuts. So let's get some value. When he checks, we make it $50 and we see the great news when he calls. Turn's not the best. It's an ace that brings in king 10, but that's not the main reason. I just think now top pairs that on the flop that were queens will start getting scared and folding against a turn bet, since I could have plenty of aces myself. So hopefully that's not the case. He checks, I make it $125, but as I was worried, no more value to get since he does fold, but still pretty nice. $100 coming our way. It's always great when a straddle is going on sometimes that we do run good when it's on, since it is double the money than when it's off. So pot going our way. Let's move on to the next hand. Once again, we're in the button when the straddle is going on with not as pretty of a pocket pair, pocket eights, low jack limps, hijack makes it 40, and in the button, happy calling. Sometimes I'll 3-bet, but one reason is the hijack is one of the better players, so I'm not a fan of isolating him. I do happy just calling and having more of the recreational players get involved. And that is the plan. So I call, so does the low jack, so 3 ways to a flop. Flop's not the worst, jack, jack 3, so 2 pair. It checks to us, and I think we're good here most of the time. I'm not sure if hijack is checking with trips. Sure, he could have some overpairs and maybe 3 ways pot controlling, but altogether, I think my hand is good more often than not. So I make it $40. Low jack folds, and now the hijack decides to check raise. He makes it $180, so definitely not loving it, especially in a spot that I'm in the button. So I do think I'm flat calling with a decent amount of jacks, jack 10, queen jack, king jack suited. So when he check raised in a spot that I have trips myself, looks stronger. Maybe if I was in a cutoff, since I play a lot with this player, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's aware that I tend to more 3-bet fold. So if I was in a cutoff, it would be more pocket pairs, since if I do flat, it tends to be pocket pairs. I may just be set mining. So maybe if I was in an early position, I'd have to call more, since maybe he's just trying to get all those pocket pairs to fold by check raising. But in the button, when I felt like I had plenty of jacks myself, I do decide to fold. Looking back against this player that is very aggressive, it may have been a little too tight, but that's what I do in the moment. So he takes it down. Let's move on. Now we do have a jack with king jack off in the cutoff. Under than 2 makes it $10, folds to us, and usually I never be 3-betting with his hand, but $10 sets a small size min raise. This looks pretty weak, as he's just trying to see a flop for cheap. So let's attack it. I make it $35, but the plan does not go as hoped. Since the big blind calls a 3-bet, and so does under the gun 2, so 3 ways to a flop. Flop is king 4-9, so pretty good. Top pair jack kicker, so checks to us, let bet. I make it $50, and only under the gun 2 calls, so heads up to a turn. Turn is a 6, he checks, and now I'm getting a little worried that my jack kicker may not be the best, because I did 3-bet pre-flop and c-bet the flop 3 ways, so him calling looks pretty strong. And I'm not beating too many top pairs, since apart from king 10, that's about it, since king 9 is 2 pairs. And I don't know if he's calling king 8 or worse after I 3-bet pre-flop, maybe because the big blind calls. So maybe altogether I should bet out a bet here. I don't have to make it too big. So like that, worst top pairs you call, I'm getting value from flush draws. But in the moment, I do decide to pot control and check back. River is the worst card of the deck. It's a 10 of hearts. So apart from the flush coming in, I'm losing now against the only top pair I thought I could get value from, that is king 10. And he does bet. He makes it $100. And yeah, I mean, it's not a huge size, but what are we beating here? Flush comes in, and almost every top pair is beating us, since it's 2 pair or better kicker. And I don't see many bluffs. I mean, I think he'd have to be turning a flop 2 pair or bottom pair into a bluff that's trying to get me to full top pair. And honestly, I think most of the time in these games, they're just happy to get the showdown. So I do fold once again, and they take it down. Hopefully we don't have to fold this next one. We're looking at pocket aces in the big blind. News get better since the straddle is going on. Under than 2 raised at $50, folds to us, and this definitely looks very strong. 5x, straddle pot, early position. I play it off with this player, so hopefully he does have another hand, as it looks like. Let's 3-bet. I make it 200, being out of position. Folds to her, and she goes into the tank. And I start getting worried now that she may fold a premium hand, because I do look super strong. If it wasn't straddle going on, it definitely wouldn't look this much. And I am just making it 4x, but again, it's a straddle pot. So even though it's just 4x, it is a lot more money than we're used to playing in this game. And after a while, she shows ace king and folds. So what a horrible outcome for us. She folds ace king pre-flop just against a 3-bet, and she was in position, so a hell of a fold from her side, and we make the minimum in this spot with pocket aces. Let's move on. Now an under than 1 with pocket 7s. I make it $15, under than 2 calls. Now the hijack 3-bets at 55, but when it folds to us, it's happy calling here, so that's what I do. But things don't go as I expected. Since under than 2, that originally just called my raise, decides to go all in for 250. So definitely a very weird line, and looks like the hijack likes his ideas and he jams as well. So not the funnest spot, putting $55 and having to fold, but of course we're not calling a jam, so we fold. Let's move on. Now we get a little upgrade with pocket 8 in the hijack. The straddle is going on, low jack limb, so I make it $50, and I get the small blind under the gun and limber to call, so 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes 3, 6, 9, so not the worst. This one overcard to a pocket pair, and we got the 8 of hearts. Things are interesting though, since small blind leads out all in for $110, folds to us. And maybe I'd consider folding if I didn't have the 8 of hearts, because I think or A, he has top pair or a flush draw. And if I didn't have the hearts, maybe I'm not getting a price, but with it, less than par. I think we're doing good shape because in both scenarios, we're doing pretty good. If he has a flush draw, well, we have pocket 8s that are ahead. And maybe if he has top pair, well, at least we have a draw. So altogether, I think we're getting a good price. So I call. Let's see the run out. Turn is a deuce. River is another deuce of hearts. I don't know if that's good for us. And it is not, since he flips over ace 8 off with the ace of hearts. So he rivers a better flush than us and takes it down. Let's go on to the last hand of this session. We've got ace queen off in the cutoff. There's 2 limpers, so I'm gonna get $25 and get the big blind and limpers to call. So 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes 7, 8, 9. So yeah, definitely not a flop I was hoping for. So multi-way. So when it checks to me, I'm checking back. Turn is another 8. So once again, it checks to me. I'm happy checking. And the river is a 5. So any 6 is a straight. Checks to me again though. I check, and somehow when we show our ace high, it is good. So I'll take it. $100 pot with ace high. Definitely very nice. So yeah, ending the session with a win. Definitely nice, especially after those last few hands that weren't going our way. So let's rack up, cash out, and see how we did. That's the end of the session. We won the 1K. That's amazing. And the first one that we were there. So that was nice, just knowing that I could leave. I didn't have to play 9 hours if I wasn't feeling great. And that is the case. Since I'm a little under the weather, I woke up this way and it got a little worse towards the end. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I played 6 hours. No need to push it and feel worse tomorrow like that. I could head home and get some extra sleep and feel good tomorrow to play, since we still have 2 more days this week. Tomorrow's Thursday and Friday. And yeah, let's see. We booked a profit playing of $130. So not much. Just kind of up and down. We couldn't consistently build our stack, but we got that $1,000 promotion. So 130 playing, 1,000 promotion. That makes $1,330. So definitely an amazing session, and definitely did a lot better than last time, because last time this happened I won the 1,000 too, but I lost 1,300, so I ended up in the red that day, even though I made a $1,000 profit. So that is it. Thank you guys for watching. If you can, subscribe, like, and leave a comment. That's always highly appreciated, and I'll see you guys next week.